So Yoruichi reveals her ability with her new demon cat form, only to have Askin walk in and say, "This isn't even my final form." Okay, so this chapter of Bleach, I can already see getting a lot of controversy. For instance, many are probably going to be bringing up that this chapter feels very, very, very similar to previous fights that we've gotten very recently of Bleach, and I want to kind of dive in and tackle this, because I know this is probably going to be in the comments before I even, get any further. Like, I can already see some of you already making comments before you even get to this point of the video. So, to discuss it, I have to admit, having it to where Yoruichi has this ability to where she can overcome Askin's ability to adapt, it felt a little bit like, okay, so this is very similar to what happened in the last fight, and then also, this is kind of like, okay, so apparently Yoruichi has just the right ability to combat someone's ability and beat them even though they're a godlike being. For instance, Askin, as we know, seemed like almost unbeatable the way he was, the way he can adapt, and he has this certain dosage, and he can, get immune to certain things, or everything, depending on how much damage he takes. For instance, like, he can get immune to Uriatsu and stuff like that, and it just happens to where Yoruichi has the ability that she's been hiding, even though she, when she fought Aizen, she didn't show it, but this ability she's been hiding since the very beginning, apparently the time it finally gets used, it is perfect up against the person she fights. For instance, a person that is the right guy to go up against Yoruichi's ability. And I don't know how to feel about that, because it feels like it was a way of just having Askin transform, and it felt like, Askin's like, oh, your ability no longer works on me, so I want to kick your ass in the next chapter, and then you're going to kick my ass in the next chapter, and then I'm going to transform again a couple times to make myself look even more grotesque. I think I'm seeing a repeating pattern here. I mean, you remember what happened to, Chicken Lily? Let's think about this. He transformed once, and then transformed twice, and then 3 times, so forth, so on. And this has kind of been a little bit of a repeating pattern with a lot of the Quincy's recently. And so I'm kind of fearful that this might end up the exact same way. I'm going to, place some bets here. I'm going to bet you all right now that before the next 3 chapters, we're going to get a flashback of Yoruichi and Urahara's relationship. We're going to get a flashback, and we're definitely going to find out more about their connection, and also probably something along the lines of Urahara getting his, Bankai, or how he's going to reveal his Bankai, and then how they're going to probably beat Asuka. I can already see adding a lot of character development, kind of similar to how the other fights have been, for instance, like, the lieutenant, or, the vice captain's constantly getting, this characterization about them in the past with these flashbacks. I can see how this might happen for Yoruichi, and how she got, like, the form she has, or, where Urahara met her, and dive more into the relationship. I can already see a flashback coming, and then Urahara most likely winning in the very end, or maybe Yoruichi actually pulls out another type of mode and is able to transform to beat, Askin. But regardless, though, of that, I just gotta say, the chapter, it's very meh. Yeah, very meh chapter. I mean, I like Urahara, I love Yoruichi, and I love those 2 characters. I love them. And I like Askin, actually. I really like Askin. He's a really cool character, even though he's an Aizen look-like, he's a really cool character as well, and I do like his ability. But overall, though, when it comes to the format, the formula that's been going on recently with the fights of Bleach, they feel very, very similar. Almost the exact same thing every single fight. And it's a little bit upsetting. It really is, because, I mean, like I said, the main thing, if you take a moment to look at it, almost every single fight we've gotten recently is where a character comes in, reveals this new ability that they've been holding in their back left ass cheek, and they're like, okay, so now I can use this ability, and I can pretty much beat you now, because this ability is perfect for you. I've been holding this ability back, even though I fought Aizen, and so forth, so on. I never showed this ability, but I'm just gonna reach it and pull it out, and let us fight and beat you. That's kind of what's going on here. So, jokes aside, I just gotta say, we'll see how the fight goes. I'm not Kubo, I'm not the writer, but so far for what I have seen and what we have seen from recent fights, there is a repeating pattern here, so hopefully Kubo does a little bit different since, this is Urahara and Yoruichi. They're really well-known characters and everybody loves them. They're one of the best fan-favorite characters of the series, if I'm correct, so hopefully, Kubo does them right. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.